This is an urgent legal alert. Everyone who has either lost a tooth or wants to actually regrow a new set of teeth moving forward in their life. Well, a Japanese company have just discovered through their experts a phenomenal or groundbreaking drug which can be able to regrow for you either a tooth that you've lost, a set of teeth that you've lost, or even your entire mouth for those of you who may be 90 years and beyond. Well, in this edition of Legal News Daily, I'm going to discuss what are the legal implications behind this international news and why the Japanese have come up with it, but most importantly, how you can be able to defend yourself legally, either as a patient or as a dentist who will be able to administer this drug to their patients. So, this edition of Legal News Daily, let's discuss everything concerning the legal implications behind growing a new tooth. So, let's go. Well, you might be used to the normal editions that discuss of politics, pop culture, but now in this edition I'm here to discuss your health and most importantly, your good set of smile that God gave you naturally. Well, we also know that God gave us the ability to be able to invent and recreate whatever He has also put on earth. Well, Japanese experts have come up with a drug which can be able to suppress hormones that are inside the tooth, your gum inside here, and be able to sprout out a new tooth. Well, this is a groundbreaking discovery, but you may be asking, what are the legal issues behind it? We all know that for every groundbreaking discovery of anything concerning your body, there must be a legal side behind it. Well, let's look at the first legal issue, and that is, let's look at what's called patient safety and also a duty of care that's owed to you. Now, I've discussed so many times of what's called a duty of care. I'll not go deep into it, but basically a duty of care goes in the fact that if the Japanese company has basically said that, you know what, we have come up with a drug that is going to be able to help you to regrow a new tooth, then they need to have taken much due care in that by the time they release the drug in about 2030, because it's saying that they need about years of human trials. They have tried it on animals, they've tried it on even babies, and they're seeing that indeed the drug can be able to regrow a new tooth for you in a space of 1 to 2 months. So if someone did a root canal is where your tooth has been found with infection and the dentist has now put cement or a temporary kind of way of preserving the tooth. So if someone's done a root canal, meaning that that is a dead tooth, or if a tooth has been extracted from your mouth, then this drug that the Japanese are saying must be able to work on your tooth, meaning that the tooth can neither grow shorter or longer than your actual remaining teeth in your mouth. So basically, a duty of care basically says that if you've come up with a drug or in any kind of setting, if you're providing a solution for a particular amount of people or for a person or a patient, the duty of care means that you should have taken a lot of due care and caution in that that drug must now be able to work for the patient. Now, what does this mean? This basically means that a duty of care extends differently for any kind of situation. A duty of care means that if I'm providing a duty of care for employees, then the same magnitude of the duty of care must be different for the medical field. So duty of care is different for a construction site, different for a normal employment kind of situation, as different for a hospital kind of setting. So the duty of care that the Japanese company has to extend to the patients, especially the people who are trying to regrow new teeth, the new standard of care and duty of care must be extremely high in that by the time you're sure that I should be able to regrow either a front teeth that I've lost or a molar that I've lost, then you should be able to provide the best standard of care, meaning that tooth should come the same exact way that God had meant for it. Now, if you're providing a third set of teeth, then the duty of care must be high. Now, what are the legal implications beyond a duty of care? Number one, we have what's called negligence. So for someone to sue you for professional negligence, either as a dentist or for the Japanese company which is producing that drug which can be able to help you to regrow teeth, then we need to look at things like I've said, duty of care. Number one, if the duty of care has been breached, meaning that if the tooth either grows longer or shorter, then that is a breach of duty of care, because under the contract that you would have signed with the Japanese company or the dentist, that's another legal issue we need to look at. So number one, we need to look at duty of care, we need to look at negligence. Negligence is either you've breached the duty of care, the duty of care must have existed, and damage or injury must have arisen from that breach of duty of care. If I'm getting your drug as a Japanese company and the tooth grows either in a crooked way or either longer or shorter in my adult years, and the dentist now needs to, I need to incur more costs of putting it in the right position, filing it, or even extracting it if it doesn't grow well, because the body is meant to last for a certain amount of time. If I was blessed with 2 sets of teeth, those 2 sets of teeth must have taken me for my lifetime. So this means that you would have breached my duty of care, and meaning that the patient can be able to sue the dentist or the company which produced the drug for professional negligence. I've already showed you the elements of what is called professional negligence. Duty of care must have existed, the duty of care must have been breached, and most importantly, injury or damage must have arisen. So you find that for this drug to come out in the market, the Japanese company must express or must show extreme standard of care in that the patients are safe. The other legal issue that comes out of this is that, please, any patient who is trying to use a drug where there's a very big medical breakthrough in the medical world. Now, let's even leave teeth alone. Let's look at what's called a drug for HIV or a drug for cancer, if a scientist comes out and says that this plant or this drug of mine is curing prostate cancer or any other cancer all over the world, or completely curing you of HIV, and it is costing, let's say, $3,000, then for an ordinary man who has been living with HIV for about 50 years, this should be something that should cure him beyond reasonable doubt. So please, if you're going for a vaccination, a drug, or anything that is restoring you back to your normal homeostasis — homeostasis means your normal state as a human being — then please be sure that you should be able to draft an agreement. Agreements look at memorandums of understanding. We have what's called a normal agreement, and we have a contract. So please draft the contract with either the Japanese company if you're trying to regrow teeth or get a cure of any medical breakthrough. This contract can either be oral or written, implied or expressed. So a contract or an agreement is stipulated under the Contracts Act of Uganda if you're staying in Uganda. If you're staying abroad, then this can be for any other contract which applies to the jurisdiction or the parameters of your country. So I wanted to explain all of that moving forward. This is a very big break for humankind and for all human beings moving forward. Growing a new set of teeth, or growing a tooth where you have been extracted, meaning that you no longer have a gap in your smile. But be sure that you should look at all those legal issues. Has the duty of care been extended to you? Have you signed a contract or memorandum of understanding with that company? And most importantly, as the doctors or the professional, the people in the medical field, in the world in general, be sure that you have done extreme research in that if you're providing a breakthrough for people, curing a terminal illness, or providing a new tooth for someone, be sure that this breakthrough is going to cure them moving forward. Just know, finally, is that everything in the world has legal issues behind it. Everything has laws, whether it extends to medical laws, whether it even extends to the airspace, whether it extends to either even maritime, which is the water of the earth. So until next time, I'll see you. Please let me know what I should talk about in a future video. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye-bye.